Monday, February the 8th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you, and I'm telling you what, cold air and plenty of it. That is our primary weather story here as we go through this week, and I think there's also the opportunity for snow fans to get some of what they're looking for here and there. Nothing certain, but there's some chances out there. I'll get into all that here as today's edition of the video rolls along. There's the Greensboro Tower camera early this morning. It is a cold start to the day overall. Now, nothing compared to what's coming, but certainly chilly. The temperature at the PTI airport sits at 30 degrees during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. Great week for the ski industry coming. This will be one of those weeks where there are snow showers off and on throughout the week, and in fact some bursts of pretty heavy snow. In fact, at times they're on those northwest facing slopes. This is a very favorable northwest flow snow type of week, and those snow totals will be piling up. I'll show you that here in just a second. Your temperatures 20s and 30s across most of the region. That big low pressure that brought rain and some snow to the eastern Carolinas, that is pulling out to sea. And off to the west, here comes the next system. Rain and snow showers in Kentucky and Tennessee rolling in our direction, and some snow showers pivoting through the Midwest on the backside of that system. That's all with the cold front that's heading our way. Now, in the mountains of North Carolina, you have winter storm watches and warnings currently in effect. And here's the reason why. Again, it is northwest flow type of snow, and this is the the snow totals through Wednesday night. And there'll be more to come late week too, but just through Wednesday night, you notice 5 to 10 inches in the favored spots. And I think certainly by the time the week is out, there'll be some foot plus snow totals in those favored northwest-facing areas. Now let's talk about the Piedmont. Cold front working in. Some rain showers this afternoon. I do think it's rain showers this afternoon, and as the cold air deepens a bit this evening, could be a couple of snow showers involved. I don't think there's enough snow outside of the mountains to be a big deal. Now the high-resolution rapid refresh is being extremely aggressive with the rain this afternoon. That's probably a bit overdone, and this particular graphic does not distinguish between rain and snow, but this would be all rain initially, and then you'd see if you got any snow showers behind it this evening. But again, I think the coverage, you see there's probably a little bit overdone. Winds will be a little bit gusty out of the southwest ahead of this incoming front today. Enjoy today. I don't think we're going to be this warm, quote unquote, again until at least 8 or 9 days from now, as plenty of cold air is coming our way. We start to feel that for sure tomorrow. There could be a few Piedmont snow showers tomorrow. Your highs look like that across the region. Pretty gusty winds too out of the northwest as this cold air blows on in here. And then Wednesday, we are squarely in the midst of the cold air. The northwest flow snow continues in the mountains. Wednesday's highs in the 30s in a lot of spots, and I think for a lot of the Piedmont, 30s for highs Thursday and Friday too, and then it gets even colder. Now let me show you the European model solution. It is being the most aggressive with developing this next wave of low pressure as it moves through Friday. And then the Arctic air just plunges in here and stays for a while this weekend into early next week. Now again, on the European computer model, it is being the most aggressive with this and indicating a little snow with that system Friday. I do think some snow is a possibility, but it's not a certainty. It all depends on how a little wave of energy moves along that incoming Arctic front, and I don't have a whole lot of confidence at all in that scenario, but I just wanted to show you what the European is indicating. And what does look to be a certainty is a big shot of cold air this weekend. Now, how cold is still in question, but again, this is the European computer model solution. And look at this, you're talking single-digit low temperatures on the European model by Sunday and then again on Monday morning, and it keeps highs Sunday in some Piedmont spots only in the teens. Now, that might be a bit overdone, but again, this is a big shot of cold air coming for the weekend. Let me show you some of the other modeling here. Let me start off first of all with what's happening at 500 millibars. We will begin with a look at tomorrow morning. There's your big trough swinging in. This is the European model, the operational run. You go out to Saturday morning, and there's that secondary shot of cold air. Now, what does it look like at 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet? This is Thursday morning, and that's a cold blast of air for sure on the European. But boy, look at this. This is absolutely brutal. These are 850 millibar temperatures down to I-40 and just south of there, colder than 26 degrees below 0 Celsius. That is really, really cold stuff. The GFS not quite as cold with the weekend cold shot, but it is still indeed very cold. Let me show you what the GFS is showing here. These are the GFS low temperatures by the time you get out to Sunday morning. And again, that is cold. Some single digits around the Triad, 12 to 14 degree lows around the Charlotte area, sub-zero lows in the mountains. But again, the European is even colder. All right, so let me take you through potential storm systems here. All right, let's take a look at the GFS. And again, we'll start with today. There comes your rain showers rolling in. And again, notice as the cold air deepens, the precipitation tapers off. So I just don't think enough precipitation there to be anything that's a big deal with snow showers today or tonight. A lot of cold air around tomorrow and breezy northwesterly winds. And again, there could be a snow shower or two. Now let's talk about Friday. All right, there's what the the GFS model prints out Friday. Not a lot, but enough to mention the chance of some light precipitation. If you just look at that. On the European model, there's Friday on that model, and it's a little bit more aggressive with the precipitation. So again, I mentioned the chance of some light snow in my forecast for Friday. We will adjust as necessary. Then we go out to early next week, and I've been keying for a while. If you've been watching these videos, I've been keying on the period between the 15th and the 17th for a potential storm system. The European has it, but it's kind of suppressed and not overly impressive on its most recent run. The Canadian model, by far the most aggressive with that system, early next week. So we're talking now out at the 15th of February. This is the Canadian model. Here comes that system moving in. You go out 6 hours later. That's what it looks like. 6 hours later. And finally 6 hours later. That says it exits Tuesday. So it's a much more significant system being indicated on the Canadian model. And all the models have taken turns really at times showing a scenario like that. And before I wrap up the video, some quick long-term ideas here. Again, I've leaned pretty heavily at times on these Canadian ensemble means up at 500 millibars and 850 millibars to kind of give you an idea where the pattern's headed. That's had a great winter. So look at this. These are 500 millibar height deviations. Okay, so just a long story short here, this is valid next weekend. So this is our big weekend cold shot ridge out west. There's your big trough in the eastern part of the country. And then watch what happens. This is the pattern around the potential storm system early next week that I'm watching. You will see a moderating period later on next week. But I don't know that it lasts that long. A lot of the modeling is going with the idea of the big ridge reloading out west as you get toward the 23rd, 24th of February, leading to more cold air in the eastern part of the country. So there are signs of a renewed cold pattern in the eastern part of the country by the tail end of the month. And overall, I think a lot of cold air for the rest of the month overall, maybe a bit of a mild period coming up. We'll say 18th to 21st or 22nd, and then the pattern tries to reload out after that for cold air. Again, we'll watch that potential system and a couple potential systems Friday and early next week too. A lot on the table and just a lot of moving pieces and a lot to keep you interested if you're a weather fan. All right, that is it for the latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a great day and God bless.